Hey, what's up? It's Coach Keith coming to you with another episode. Today I wanted to tackle when exactly is it alright for you to man press and when should you incorporate a man press into your normal defensive scheme. So let's jump into it. Our typical defense is iron, so it's a 32. You can go and check that out right up here. That typically comes out of our 13 press, which if you want to check that out, it's over here. What we do is if we have someone else carry over besides their point guard, which you will know who their point guard is, then we typically jump into a man press as soon as he crosses half court. So we typically jump into a man press as soon as he crosses half court. Let's go ahead and draw that up and see what it looks like. I think there might be some confusion. Our 13 press, if we're in 13 press, we drop back into iron every single time and we don't have a man press. If we don't press and drop back into our iron, that's when we go into man press. If we get another person besides their point to carry over with the ball. Go ahead and draw it up. We're in iron here, which is our 132, or I'm not our 132, my bad, our 32. And inbounds, if they have somebody else besides their point getting in, so say they're 2 or 3 carries over, they'll typically be in this kind of, let me go ahead and get circles out here. So say they have their 2 who carries over with the ball. It's this guy's job to realize that, and what he does is he just yells man or jump. We use the term jump. So when he crosses, we know where our man is, so we already have our numbers set out. Regardless of if he passes over or what happens, we're already going man press. So what that means is that we're all gonna number up. So typically this guy will play here as soon as we go into jump though. He crosses over, and nothing happens. We stay in our iron defense. He has the ball still, but he makes a pass. So he passes it probably to their 1 or something, I don't know. He passes it to this guy right here. Upon that pass, that's when we jump. So this guy will go take the ball and press that here. This guy's gonna lock off here. This guy will more than likely lock off there. This guy's gonna shut that off, and this guy will lock off here. What that does is create the responsibility for this guy to push the basket right away, or he's gonna try to look for a quick pass. So say he's part of the swing and he's supposed to swing it down to the low corner over here. This guy's gonna be blocked off and typically get a quick turnover because he's just being a robot and passing it, or he doesn't know what to do, and we're gonna have a great steal with our 2 top defenders playing on these sides. And what I tell my guys is even if you're on the back side, do not help. Make sure that you're locking that off. If he were to cut or something, we definitely want to lock it off. You can come help suck in a little bit to create some more confusion inside, but mostly your responsibility is this guy. We want to go strictly 1v1 basketball and make him beat us, and that's it. So that's when we go to it. Another time we go to it is typically in our iron defense if they're getting some good outside shots on us, but we don't feel like they're good on the inside or anything like that. Typically they get a 3 from right about in this area here with one of our guys not being able to play that. We'll jump into a man press and give them a look that makes them start running. So they typically get a 3 from here, but then we'll just jump into man press and start locking that off if they have a lot more success doing that. So the reason why we typically run the man press is because it's the exact opposite of our iron defense. It's the contrast of both ends. We don't play usually in the middle. We play both spectrums. My philosophy is give them something that slows the game down and then pick it up. You always want to be able to be in control and always change that pace. So this is what we go to. Our man press this year had a lot of success. We were able to come down from a 20-point deficit and come back to only lose by 1, but we took the lead late in the 4th quarter, but our guys just didn't have enough speed and gusto to keep us in it. The shot actually came down to the end of the line where we threw it up half court with 2 seconds left and hit the rim and missed it, which is kind of a bummer. But when we played that team again, we jumped out in our iron, jumped in the man press, created a whole bunch of confusion, and sometimes as coaches you kind of are romantic about what defense you want to run instead of actually approaching the game and running what you should run to beat the other team. So that was my bad. However, my coaching style is to play both spectrums. So if we're running and gunning, we're running and gunning. If we're playing settled offense, we're playing settled offense 6 on or 5 on 5. And that goes for defense. Either we're pressing the ball on man, we don't ever just go into man. We're always in either man press or we're in iron. So we're either playing a 3-2 zone or we're playing our man press. This is to create basically different tempos in the game. So they're gonna start passing the ball, lulling to sleep. They're gonna kind of just be able to run their offense a little bit more freely. And then, maybe the next time they come down with the ball, we're gonna be jumping into man press, keeping that speed up and giving them something they're not looking at. Because what you want is their coach to be confused on what you're doing. Because he's gonna be their commander and he's gonna be telling them, hey, they're running a zone, we need to run this offense. And based upon what you're doing is what offense they're gonna run. They'll come down and they'll see the 32 or our iron defense, 32 defense, our zone defense, and when they cross half court, we'll jump into man press and so they'll be yelling their zone offense. But as soon as they cross half court, we'll change it up and we'll be actually playing a press defense. So this is a great time to go to a man press, is especially if you've been running a zone most of the game. It's great to jump into a man press to get a little bit different tempo and probably get some easy buckets going the other way, or their coach figures something out and calls a timeout. So on that note, if you guys like these videos, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. So go ahead and feel free to try out that zone, then to man press. And if it works, go ahead and let me know down in the description, or if you guys have any ways that you would might beat it, go ahead and as well comment down below. And if you try it out and it works, go ahead and smash that like button. Other than that, thank you very much and look forward to another episode.